Well, hello again. Welcome one more time. Unfortunately, my computer has been down. The hard drive went out on it, and I had to put it in the shop. But while I was sitting in the shop doing whatever the shop guy was going to do, I don't feel like messing with computers. I got too many other things to mess around with besides screwing around with those. Anyway, I decided to go ahead and take our mounting plate and bracket for the speaker. After I got done derusting it in the evapor rust, I went ahead and took it into work, and I gave it to the boss that runs the chroming department, and I asked him if he could run the paint that was left on it, if he could run it through the acid vat. Just take this thing and dip it down in there. And he's sure, no problem. So they ran it through the acid vat, and now we're ready to go ahead and put some primer on it, some paint, and some clear coat on it. So that'll be our next step with this. I'm real proud of that thing. It turned out really nice. Kind of looks like a battery holder to a 1955 or 56 or 57 Chevy, doesn't it? This thing used to mount on the side of the fender. The old battery would sit right there. Or in the 57, I think it sat like this, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember offhand. But we'll get her painted up looking a lot better now. Alright, we need to get a coat of primer on this thing before it starts to rust. It doesn't take long on this metal once you strip it. So I've decided to go with the rusty metal primer, which provides double the rust protection. I want this thing to really be, even though there's no rust on it, I still want it to be protected. So we're going to go ahead and give this thing about 2 to 3 coats of this double primer. And then we're going to let it set a couple days, or at least set one day. Then come back and put the flat black on. I like to use flat black because I think it adheres better. Not for everything, but for projects like this, I think a flat paint adheres better to the primer. I may not be right about that, but it sure seems like it to me. And then I can always put a gloss, either a real shiny gloss, high gloss, or satin over the top of the flat, and it looks really good. Just looks like regular enamel. So let's get this thing finished up. We've got 2 coats of this ultimate rusty metal primer on there, and we're going to go ahead and leave it at that. As far as that type goes, the next coat we'll put on will be this very, very dark. It's almost black. It's like a really heavy dark gray, really. We'll go ahead and put that on there as our 3rd coat. That way when we spray with the black paint, it'll be a whole lot easier to cover with this underneath. Let's get cranked up on this. See if I can get this old can to work here. Here we go. Yeah, that looks a whole lot better. Just a slight layer at a time. You don't have to go crazy with this. All you new folks out there, just kind of take your time. It's not something you have to rush. Never get in a rush, okay? Now, I'll probably put 2 coats of this on there just to make sure I've covered everything. This old rectifier here, this copper oxide rectifier, which is I believe what it is, it's kind of a unique item. I've never seen one. I've seen pictures of different copper oxide rectifiers. Never saw one like this. And it's kind of neat. I can't, there's no way I can throw this away. It's going to have to be painted, cleaned up and painted, which is what I'm doing right now. We're going to go ahead and put it back in the speaker. And who knows, maybe 100 years from now somebody will open up the speaker if it's still around, and they'll see this thing, and it'll generate some kind of a discussion on a future radio forum, antique radio forum, or antique forum, or something, about what it is and all this other jazz. And it'll be a great item, great topic for discussion. I don't know. I've never seen one. Maybe the rest of you have, but I never have. So we're going to preserve it just for that purpose, for future discussion. While the rectifier is drying, I thought I'd go ahead and show you this out here in the daylight where you can see it a little bit better also. I've gone ahead and derusted the entire back rusty part of the speaker here, the field coil area, and removed any rust that was around in here. What we're going to do today is remove the cover off the cone and then clean around the outside edge right here where that it's on the other side, around where the surround will be glued to. It has to be cleaned up, and then I'll sand this down a little bit, and we'll give this thing a good primer coat. And we're going to have a new bridge rectifier on here, so these wires will be removed. I'm going to just tape them off for now during the painting process. And we will put extended wires on these right here prior to putting it back in. but we'll make the speaker look really good. Hopefully the surround installation will go well. I've done it before, took my time, worked out perfect, but that was with a more modern speaker. This one here, the speaker's kind of bent and weird looking. The cone itself, that is, so I don't know. We'll see. Just, you know, again, I go back to my previous statements that I've made over and over. You just do the best you can, okay? We're not experts, we're hobbyists. Keep that in mind, you know. Just give it your best shot, and then hopefully it'll work out right. And are you going to make mistakes from time to time? Yes, you will. Is it the end of the world? No. Okay, this is, you know, I look at it this way. This is my speaker, my project, my hobby. And if I have to do it over 3, 4, 5, 10 times, well, that's the way it is. That's the way it goes. That's what it's all about, guys, you know. Most of what's left with this thing is the cosmetic side of the house. This cord, of course, will be removed. This is actually, that cord may not be removed. It's been spliced on to the original cord. I may go ahead and just keep that. That looks like it's in pretty darn good shape. However, I may go ahead and take the clamshell off of here and remove this tape and run it through there and solder it up the way it's supposed to be. Depends on what I find under there. But this thing here needs to be cleaned up. Again, we have a lot of rust. This is where the old navel jelly will come in handy. And I was thinking about maybe painting between the clamshells, this area right here, maybe all the way around, painting it red, you know. I said that would be kind of neat to make it look red. Anyway, the more I thought about it, you know, I was thinking, you know, what bonehead would do something like that? We'll go ahead and wrap up this video with this right here. This is the audio output transformer, and as you can see, it's got a lot of rust on it too. Again, the navel jelly will clean it up, will make it look real good. But right here, attached to it, is a smaller choke. I'm not even sure what it's all about. It's just a choke, just a coil of wire that comes out of the secondary of the audio output transformer and goes on out. Let me see, is this the secondary? No, this is the primary. The primary, this comes from the plate of the audio output tube on the radio, goes through the choke into the primary, and then out the secondary to the speaker over here. And I don't know what that choke's all about. I guess to just eliminate certain frequencies. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, in the next video I'll cover a little bit about what kind of radios you can use this sort of setup with. You know, a powered speaker with its own audio output transformer. Can you hook it to a radio that has its own audio output transformer inside the chassis? We'll answer those questions next time. But in the meanwhile, you know, I'm very, very busy right now. I don't have time to put up a video every 3 days or 4 days or whatever. Just hang with me a little longer. It's about to break free, where I'll have a little more time. So until next time, I appreciate everybody's patience on this particular project. I know it's going a little slower than what it started out as, but you know, I have to get things done, because before I'll know it, the hot weather in Arkansas will hit, and then things will really slow down. I want my shop completed so I can move all this crap out to the shop, and then it'll be air conditioned and we can do that. Plus, if all goes well, there's impending retirement coming up in the next few months for me. And then I'll have much more time. You know, like right now, I got to go in and hit the shower and get ready for work. I just don't have time to do everything I want to do. I don't know how I'm going to handle retirement. I've never, you know, I don't know. I've worked since I was 12 years old. It's going to be interesting. Maybe on the last second I'll chicken out and keep working. You know, it's going to be weird not to have. I don't need the paycheck. Okay, I don't need it really. And but still, you know, it comes payday, the paycheck's not there. It's like, where's my paycheck? It's hard to deal with. You know, I've worked all my life, and my mom and dad, they told me, look, they didn't give me the best advice for parents, but they did embed into the kids, most of us, the work ethic. You will go to work. It doesn't matter what you do. My dad told me one time, I don't care if you shovel cow manure the rest of your life. If it's a job and it pays the bills and you support your family with it, that's up to you. It's your choice how you make your money. It's nobody else's business but yours, as long as it's legal. So, I don't know. that's what's going on for me in the future. And until next time, we'll go ahead and end this video here before I bore you to death. This is John. One more thing before we actually close out. You all are kind of used to me doing this by now, I guess. It's always something I forget. Simply Speakers has sent me the surround that I ordered. I'm telling you, these guys are good. These guys, you order something from them online, and it's almost like you click off the website, you turn around, the mailman's out at the mailbox with the thing. They ship. They're the fastest shippers in the universe. I'm not kidding. It's just amazing how quick that stuff will come in. Let me go ahead and open it up and we'll take a quick peek at it. Well, here it is. Actually, they sent me two. I got two for the price of one, I guess. It's just a foam rubber. If I screw one up, I got another one to fix it with. And they send you a tube of really good glue. I still have some left over in the tube for the last surround I put on. That is really, really good glue. And they call it the Edge It. But that's it, just a very thin piece of foam rubber, really thin, very flexible. It'll last a long time. As a matter of fact, it's almost got a rubbery texture to it, not just, let me get zero on down there and kind of give you an idea. It's not really foam rubber, it's really tough stuff. Anyway, just want anybody to know that that's what it looks like. I think old Phil over there in England, he was talking about our good subscriber Phil, you know, Steel City 321 PB. He was talking about he had a few speakers that needed these types of things, and he was glad that I pointed out that Simply Speakers will take care of them. They are really a very good company. They really are.